Hello, I'm Xinsheng Xie. I'm a freshman who's studying in supply chain management. Today I'm going to talk about the Great Wall of China. The Great Wall of China is actually the biggest construction works of all time, and it's the largest military structures of all time. The reason why people built the Great Wall is because they built it in order to prevent the invasions from the northern areas of China. It took more than 2,000 years to build the Great Wall, and more than 3 million workers are actually involved in this project. As I said earlier, the Great Wall is the largest construction of all time. It's about 21,196 kilometers long, which is 4.9 times longer than the United States. The materials used in order to build the Great Wall are stone, soil, sand, and bricks. And it depends on the locations of the Great Wall. They use, the workers use the material they could find there to build the Great Wall. And here is a cartoon explain how the Great Wall is built. Well, I'm only going to talk about the workers. So as you can see, there are people carrying stuff. These are either rebels or normal citizens. And the soldiers works as the supervisor for the project. They're there to make sure people are doing their job correctly and efficiently. And how could people carry over 100 million tons of materials to the site? Well, then I'm going to talk about the transporting methods. So most of the materials are actually carried by hand, which is human. And one of the methods they use is, they have a line of people and they just pass the materials to the next person and so on. And some primitive technologies are actually used in building the Great Wall. The wheelbarrows and ropes were used. Animals are always a big part of transporting system. But other than traditional horses, donkeys, cows, the goats are actually used for carrying stuff. Because as you know, most part of the Great Wall are actually built on the mountains or the cliffs. It's really hard for human or horses to climb those, but goats are great climbers, so they were used in transporting stuff. So what if the Great Wall was built today? If the Great Wall is built today, I would still use bricks as a material because the bricks are cheaper and they're lighter, which will lessen the dead load of the entire structure. And it requires less construction labors and it's more environmental friendly. The methods of building the Great Wall is a thing called 3D volumetric system. People will build the parts of the constructions outside in the factory, and this way will make it more efficiently, faster, and cheaper, and also higher quality. And after they've built the part of the construction, they will transport it to the site, and they will combine them together there. This way, it's gonna make the entire workflow faster. So if the Great Wall is built today, I would consider people will finish building of the Great Wall in 2 years instead of 2,000 years. And that's all. Thank you for listening. Here is the reference page.